Yeah. Hi all. I still haven't figured out what to say in the beginning. Like, should I just be like, should I have like a phrase? Like a signature greeting? Doesn't feel natural. So I guess the signature thing is just me being awkward in the beginning of every video. So yeah, hi. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, it's been quite a while since I filmed the last one, and yeah, I've been kind of struggling with the project. Well, I guess I've been struggling since like May, but like, but now the struggle has intensified, I think. Realizing that I'm in the halfway of the project, and then I'm starting to panic, or I think like whenever you're making an art piece, it's always like just when you reach the halfway, and after that, I think for me that's always when the biggest self-doubt comes. Because before that you're kind of like, yeah, well, I still don't know, this can go too many ways, and you're being optimistic and you kind of feel that you can change the project accordingly. And then also right before you finish, you feel like, then you kind of like have to just go with it, and you're like, okay, I will make this work. But I think this phase, when you're like half done, and then you start questioning everything, it's the worst. So I've been kind of like thinking like, what if I don't have anything to say? Like what if I just ran out of topics to speak? Like what if I'm just like, yeah, nothing. Or I just feel like, what if this whole project, if it's just a big puff of nothing? Like I've just documented a year of my life, and then it's like, yeah, I meditated and nothing happened. I didn't change. I don't know, I struggled like everyone. If it ultimately comes down to like just me being like trying to achieve something, and it's escaping through my fingers, and then I don't know, maybe that has value itself, like that this whole piece will just be a monument for human like attempts for like self-improvement, and then like failing. So yeah, maybe it's more about me just putting myself in these situations where I'm trying to gain some control, and then I struggle with it, and I document my struggles, and that's it. Oh boy. But yeah, I also feel like, even though I've built this project in a way that there's this 1 year cycle, I think I want to continue this project, even though, yeah, because I really think that this kind of, like what I'm aiming for, if I'm truly like trying to reach enlightenment, and if I'm truly trying to like modify my brain, and if I'm really trying to get into it, like I don't think I'm still like, it takes time, and that's fine. I'm like, it demands a lot of patience to be like, maybe in 5 years after I filmed 5 years of my like not so dramatic vlog post, and in 5 years I can like squeeze it in and see the bigger picture, and maybe something will surface from there. But it's just like, would be nice to see some results already. But yeah, I mean, it is I can only blame myself. You know, that's the worst and the best part in art practice, that is really like, you can't blame anyone but yourself. Like, this is the life that I've chosen and this is the project. Like also with art, like sometimes I'm like, oh, why couldn't I just do something that would be just like I was really dreaming of like making an art piece that would just involve a lot of like hand labor, like I don't know, doing some embroidery or something that would just like allow me to do kind of like mindlessly something like monotonic with my hands, and then I could just like listen to podcasts and listen to music. But yeah, I mean, of course I could, but then I've chosen this. But then again, I also chose this project because I really do want to meditate. So yeah, problems of a privileged artist, I guess. Yeah, but anyways, the struggle with the project is mainly that I really feel like I've hit some sort of I don't know how you say it, like this flat, because or I have this I'm feeling impatient, and I'm feeling like I should notice a change, or that there should be something more significant coming out. Like, I've been meditating for half a year and like I can't say that much has changed. And then I guess I'm still waiting. Like, there is this like idea in the back of my mind that like something miraculous should happen, or something like, yeah, I think it's like the background with all of that fantasy books. Like I have this tendency for mysticism, or like, so I think I am waiting for something like that, like meditating would bring like some sort of like moment, or like, and maybe it will in the future, but I'm just not so far away. But like maybe it's just nothing that spectacular, like maybe it's just like, at least in like the first years, who knows. Yeah. Yeah, another thing that has affected the project is my general mental health, like the state of my mental health, which, to be honest, like moving to Norway, this has been like
the loneliest I've ever felt.
And I think I wasn't expecting that, because I was kind of like a bit, well, I wouldn't say arrogant, but kind of like, well, I mean, I've been all around the world and I've survived that, and I felt like, you know, and I've always managed to find my community or find people or be okay with it or whatever. And then, of course, it's like, it's not just moving to Norway, so obviously it's the COVID situation as well. And then there are like problems in the school, you know, like there is not really a sense of community there, and I feel like the staff, I really feel that there are good artists there, and I really feel like artistic wise, like you can find good guidance there, but there is no one who would hold all the ties, or how do you say, who would hold all the threads. Yeah, I think this is a Finnish saying. Well, there is no one in a way in charge of like our class, or the sense of like, it's all very like figure it out on yourself, on your own, and then, you know, you feel like when you have to, like that you have to ask for everything, and you're kind of bothering people. And then the whole school building as well, it hasn't really been designed for artists. It's more of the idea of what artistry should be, or this idea that we're just like, it's just this massive open office with the desks and chairs, and yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I guess this all, like the school building, and then COVID, and then also Norway, like I never thought I would find people who are even more reserved than Finnish, but here I am. Although I have to say, I do think Norwegian people are like nicer than Finnish people. You know, I think Finnish people are in general just reserved and rude, but then Norwegian people are really cute but then reserved. So I feel like even without COVID, it would take like 1 year of intensely being like just having classes together, and like in that way I would probably finally get to know some Norwegian people, but it would still take a lot of time. And now that we don't even have that, like we would naturally hang out or be forced to hang out, you know, in this school, in school, because everything is online. So then it's like, yeah, I don't know if I will ever get to know my Norwegian classmates. It's just like, yeah. And I mean, obviously I have found like some truly amazing people in the city. But still, in general, it has been very lonely, and then I had to do another quarantine here. And I think it really like fucked me up, because like I did the first quarantine like in August, and even though that was hard as well, it was still like, I don't know, I think I had this like this attitude like, okay, I can get through with it, it's fine, I can focus on meditation and yoga and la 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 la, and I will take it as a retreat or something. I was trying to like, I was really like mentally like, how do you say, kämpa. Tempa. Yeah, I was really trying to like cheer myself up. And then with this quarantine, it was just, I didn't have any strength left. Like I really didn't. And then I was really convinced that I have it. And then I had like these symptoms, like my throat was sore, and then my chest was like super like heavy, and I felt like something like squeezing it, but it wasn't my regular, like I'm a bit anxious, it feels, you know, it wasn't my regular anxiety feeling, but like different, like really like I really felt it here, and then like these things and everything, and I was like, oh, what is this corona, what is it? And then I did the test, and it was a negative one. And at first I was super relieved, because obviously I had felt really guilty of like, what if I infected other people, and oh no, feeling like I'm the worst human being on earth. And then the relief of, oh, I don't have it, wonderful. And then after, like, maybe it was just like all of this like massive feelings, and after that I just like think I had my first baby panic attack, but like I wasn't sure if it's a panic attack, because I wasn't like, because like most of the people who I know who had panic attacks, like they really thought they'd die, but for me it was more like I just felt like my throat was like swelling. And it wasn't like I couldn't breathe, like my breath was like, I felt normal in my lungs, but it just, I felt it here. And then like, I felt this like tension and pain in my chest. And then I was really thinking like, oh, maybe it's a false negative, oh my god. What if I have corona, what if my lungs are collapsing? And then I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's my heart, if I have like some sort of heart infection. And yeah, and then after that I just like, I started feeling very like alienated of the reality. Like I went for a walk because I was like really panicky. And then I was like, okay, I need to get out, I need to do something, and I went for a walk. And during that walk, it didn't help. It's just like I was walking and then I really felt like out of this reality, or I felt like I couldn't separate myself from the rest of the surroundings, and I was hearing like all of the noises were kind of like I couldn't tell where they're situated in a way, or it was all very like someone was walking behind me and I was really like not sure if it's me or him who's making the noise or who's walking. Yeah, it was really bizarre. And then after I did like some googling, of course that's the best doctor, just google your symptoms. Yeah, I do think it was like some baby panic attack or something, but yeah. And the sick part is that like some part of me, while I was having the worst moment, like when I was really like thinking that I'm losing it, there was a part of me who was thinking like, oh, is this like part of the process of my enlightenment, or is this part of the process of, and that's like, I really don't know what to think of that, because obviously I don't want to go crazy, but then when I think of the process of enlightenment and what I've read about it and what like I know, that also sounds crazy. So then and then also like ever since I was a kid, I've had this kind of this fascination with craziness, or like fascination of like just like losing it or letting go, and romanticizing of this being weird, or not being weird, but like just like out of this world. So I really don't know what to make of it, because I don't think it's healthy if I'm just like like getting, yeah. So, but yeah, after the I had like this this thing for like 2 days, like the worst symptoms, and then it was sort of like leaving, but I still felt very strange like for a week. But then like after 2 days, like it finally, like I think I needed to have this experience to also acknowledge that I'm not okay, and that because I've been really like trying to be so positive and trying to be like, you know, like of course the situation sucks, but it's no one's fault, and I'm still very privileged. I get to study art, and I'm safe, and I have like enough money to have a roof over my shoulder and have food, and like I have friends who love me and like and who I love. So I'm really like, and obviously that's all true, and I'm very grateful for that, but that doesn't like, because I was really like trying to push away the feeling of like the feeling of loneliness, and like, yeah. And then after I acknowledged that, I cried for like 1 week. But it was, in a way, it was good. It was good to feel miserable. It was good, like, obviously it didn't feel good. I was really like, oh my god, I really went for the whole self-pity. No one cares for me. I'm worthless. Yeah, it was pretty dark. And I had some like self-destructive thoughts, but not like, I've always had like this thing with like self-destructive thoughts that like I know that I'm not gonna do it. Like I would like, ever since, this is also interesting, like, because I don't know how other people relate, or is this like something that's really like Finnish as well, to be so, you know, suicidal thoughts, of course. Yeah, like if I'm angry with people, like ever since I was a kid, I would always like fantasize about killing myself, but like revenge, in a revenge mindset, so that like I never actually would have done, or I think I would not have done anything, but it was just like the worst punishments, obviously, that you can imagine for your, like, if I was, like, I remember being angry at my mom when I was 10 and she wouldn't let me to go to this amusement park with my friend, just the two of us, because she thought I'm too young and we're too young to go on our own. And then my friend had got the permission because she was the youngest of like 3 siblings, so, you know, I think her parents were more like, okay. And then I was the only child and my mom was like, no, you can't go. And then after that, and then I got so angry, I was like,
I'm already 10 years old. I know what to do.
and then I was like, I'm gonna kill, I remember thinking like, I'm gonna kill myself, like I'm gonna run from the balcony and my mom will see my destroyed body. She will regret for the rest of her life that she didn't let me go to the amusement park, and she will hate herself. She will know that she had, like, she should have let me go. Like, yeah, this was, yeah, I was a melodramatic child. So, yeah, and I've always had like this tendency, like whenever I feel upset, but it's like, you know, revenge, suicide, or kind of like, I would never obviously do it because like it is the worst thing that you can do for your loved ones. And obviously like I wouldn't see how they're suffering, so, you know, if I would truly want to revenge, I don't think that would be the way to do it. I mean, obviously I don't know, maybe I could, yeah, but like I'm assuming that I wouldn't know how they're suffering, so it's not worth it. And then I've had a period in my life where I was grieving a loss of a family member, and that was like, it was a really dark time. And then like during that time I was so tired that I really wished that I could die so that I wouldn't have to deal with the emotions. But then again, during that time I knew that of course I cannot do that because it would completely destroy my family. And then going through the grief myself, I knew that I could never do that to my relatives. But yeah, but it's still like always when I get like super when times are challenging, I really like go for the no one cares, la la la. But it's, yeah, I guess it's like, yeah. Yeah, this turned out to be a lot darker than I thought. Even though I did write in my memos, dark times, but like still, like I'm not sure if I should be talking about suicidal thoughts on my YouTube channel. But then again, I guess it's part of the process. And I don't think I'm special in this way. Like I think it's quite common to fantasize about like, because it is the ultimate revenge. But I would never like, yeah. It's, But then again, it all comes down to like ego and like being very self-centered. But then, yeah. Like I really do, like I have this struggle inside of me, like, because obviously I want to get rid of this attachment to my ego and to be able to, you know, see things more objectively and not to take things personally and not to be so petty. But then at the same time there is this struggle, like really strong struggle, that's like, well, everyone else is being selfish, so why should I try to be better? Why should I be the one who's like understanding, or why should I aim to be the one who's like always understanding for other people's circumstances? if they are not able to do the same. But then like, why shouldn't I? Because if I can see that how everyone, like whenever I feel that people have let me down, I always, like after the situation passes, I can always see that maybe I was actually, my ego was hurting, or maybe I was feeling unloved or not significant, and that made me react. And also I can see how these people, how they are hurting themselves, and how, you know, like, can you really be mad at someone who hurts you if you can see that they're hurting as well, that, or that they're not even like conscious of like the things that are guiding them or making them act the way they are? Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, but I'm no way saying that I'm like somehow better or wiser. Like I struggle, like I think I want to talk about this because I struggle with it myself, like this being petty and being like selfish and wanting to be the center and the center of the universe. I guess that's why I'm so intrigued by science. I think it's really something that helps me, like just to think that we're just like made of these tiny vibrating atoms that are just like forming and unforming and organizing to different types of blocks, and that some of them are self-conscious. I mean, it's really beautiful, and it helps me to like be not so worried about my personal life, I guess. Yeah, I think this was quite a dark video. But it's been dark, but there's like, I've felt a lot better now during the week, and I bought tickets to Finland. I get to see my family, so that makes me happy. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. Have a nice well, yeah, I don't know if I should say like some claimer, since I talked about suicides and like suicidal thoughts, that if someone who's watching this, I mean, obviously there's like 10 people watching this, but still, like, take it seriously and get help and talk to people about it.